Good day.
Hello, YouTube,
Hello, Instagram.
Instagram.
Hey.
Hey there,
Hello,
Facebook.
Facebook.
So
Good
that is all
day.
three. What's up,
Yes.
guys? Hopefully, y'all are doing excelente right now.
We have a really cool topic for today's episode of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. This is episode, what was the number?
14.
14.
Huh? 14.
Oh, that's cool. And it's on a Thursday, which is Move Day. And that, is a little self-explanatory of what we're going to talk about, but this is all about intentional movement. And the topic is
Overcoming overwhelm, making movement a priority.
Yes, indeedy. Zabatini. So,
there's a lot of people who are in a situation where they're very, very busy and they want to make movement a priority. So today we're going to dive into that. Of course, first, please for us,
share this thing. You
like,
have a friend?
subscribe, comment, notify yourself, and share out.
So, if you just think of one person that you feel needs to kind of hear this right now, maybe their schedule's extra crazy hectic, they've been a little stressed, a little overwhelmed, and haven't really been focusing on themselves as much as they would like to.
Maybe they have 7 kids.
Maybe they have 2 jobs. Maybe they've been working like 7 days a week. I don't know. But this is for them, and it's also for me too.
Yeah, and overwhelm is something that we all experience in different degrees, different intensities, different reasons behind why we're feeling overwhelmed. So it's definitely something that anybody can resonate with. So even if you don't think that they need it because they're in an extreme situation, share it with a friend, share it with somebody who could make use of the information that we're going to share about overcoming overwhelm and making movement a priority. Because if you look around, especially if you're in America, which most of you all are bound to be, there is a movement of not moving. Okay? There is an unfortunate reality that you can see we don't move enough, right? We're not moving our bodies physically enough. And we're super fat. We're a super fat country. So that's unhealthy. And, I'm being very blunt to counteract the so-called body positivity movement a little bit, but we're not going to get political regardless of how you feel about it. The fact that we're a super fat country now and we weren't before, and we used to move our bodies a lot more before, PE used to be real PE, physical education, things like that have changed. A lot more people are inside all of the time. They're inside in their home, and then they go to their job and they're inside for their 8-hour shift, and they have very unhealthy breads and food to eat for lunch, and coffee and extra sugar in everything. Sugar contributes a whole lot to the unhealthy weight that we're gaining, and a lack of movement, right? And by the time you're quite young, 32, 33 years old, you're experiencing pains and things in your body and in your joints and fatigue and things that is usually supposed to be reserved for way later in life. So not that that's guaranteed, but just it usually doesn't happen to most people until way later in life. And now that's happening in people's young, early 30s. So we got to talk about making movement a priority and overcoming the overwhelm.
And I'd like to just mention a few things, like just to put this in some perspective. Like this is a time where if if we want to be honest with ourselves, there is this calling in everyone's heart to follow truth, to follow the things that make them feel more aligned with their own hearts, with their spirits, with the things that they feel called to do in this life. And especially if you're here, You have all these great intentions for yourself and for others. And we need to be able to be there for our grandkids, for our kids, for our nieces, our nephews, seeing them grow up, for the people in our community that need to, grow up with positive figures in life, like examples of what it means to be a good human being, what it means to be a what it looks like or even could mean to be healthy, like honestly healthy, not just looking as though you're healthy because you happen to be a certain body weight, but because you are healthy inside and out, like your metabolism, everything. You don't have, there's no disease, okay? There are at least 60% of Americans that were surveyed, and not everybody gets surveyed, but at least 60% have one chronic disease right now. And 40% or more have autoimmune diseases. And when it comes to autoimmune diseases, mostly women, mostly women. And that's like no comparison. It's not like, oh, just, in comparison to men and women, most,
51-49.
yeah,
No.
no. Um, it's crazy how much our hormones are playing a factor into all of this. So that's why we keep talking about them a lot and how to like really work with our women, our female bodies, and as opposed to trying to pretend that it's something else, and or ignoring the signs that we get when we feel off balance, and trying to cover it up with some sort of medication, or just trying to push through a busy schedule, and unfortunately ignoring the things that we need to see. So this is something that, when it comes to Alzheimer's, 1 in 5 women develop it now. It used to not even be a condition. It used to not. Um, 1 in 8 women have a thyroid problem. You walk into a room, maybe your friend got a thyroid problem. You didn't even know. We don't really talk to each other about some of these things. And like when half of the women that are experiencing menopause are also experiencing thyroid problems, then we know that there is something going horribly wrong with
Well, we know we're
what we've been
overwhelmed.
doing.
We know that
Yes.
we're overwhelmed. We're overstimulated with symbolism. We're overstimulated with, let's just say, shiny things. And we're overwhelmed with work-life balance.
And we're overwhelmed with chemicals. There have been more chemicals invented in these past few years and pushed into the things that we're used to using that we thought were safe than ever before.
Right. So let's get into today's topic, starting with understanding the challenges that we face, right? Some of the challenges were just put into perspective, but also we should highlight the fact that busy schedules, busy schedules, right? Maybe you don't work 2 jobs, but the job that you do work is taxing on your mind and body. You feel quite um, drained at the end of the day. Busy schedules, or you do have a couple different jobs, or
Or
you
you're a
know
homemaker.
you're a homemaker and there's a child, there's more than one child, things like that. Whatever it is, your schedule being disrupted throws your whole day off because your schedule is so busy, right? Also, there's overwhelm with stress that we talked about. A lot of experiences that we go through on a daily basis are very stressful, and that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, talk to your friends about how much stress that they experience on a daily basis, and they'll tell you. And then honestly look at yourself and how much stress that you experience on a daily basis, and you'll tell yourself. Okay, it's very self-explanatory. A lot of what we go through on a daily basis is stressful. And then there's the aspect of mindset. Our mindsets, we are actually trained, and this is all across the world, not just in the Western hemisphere, to build, develop, and maintain a victim mindset.
Mm.
A victim mindset, meaning I am required to react all the time instead of respond to my circumstances.
Everything's happening to me
And nothing
because
is
of
happening
whatever the
for me,
story is. Right.
right? But one of the key things in all three of those things I just named, a busy schedule, uh, managing stress, and
Mindset.
mindset, one of the key things that key ingredients, I'll say, in overcoming this overwhelm is fitness.
Mm.
Okay, physical fitness. And physical fitness doesn't mean spending an hour in the gym 7 days a week.
No, 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 no.
Right? And increasing your weight every single time you go to the gym. That's not what physical fitness is. Physical fitness is, we like to say, breathing hard for about 10 minutes a day.
And sweating.
Sweating and breathing hard for about 10 minutes. Sweating opens up the detoxify pathways and starts the detox process. And breathing hard means that your heart and organs and muscles are all working together to build resilience. So
this is something that it let's kind of like explore some different ways of moving our bodies that can help us. So in episode 4 of this podcast, we covered how to sync it with our cycles. And let's just briefly recap some of that very high level things. So we talked about how when our cycle starts, that's with day 1 of the bleed, not when it's just spotting starts, but day 1 of the bleed is day 1 of our cycles. And if we don't have a cycle, then we sync it up to the new moon is day 1. Okay. So this goes about to day 10-ish, and this is our power phase. So this is a time when cardio is shining, honey, because we need to support the natural ebbs and flow of estrogen building up, right? Now, at this time, HIIT workouts are super great. We can dive into some, moderate cardio, something that will just get your heart rate up and down, even if it's in the midst of doing chores or dancing or roller skating, hula hooping, whatever it is. Some sort of interval training is going to be very helpful, especially if you have any goals for quickly losing weight or quickly building muscle. That's going to just be helpful overall to support heart health and beyond. So if you find yourself, you got a desk job and you don't have much time, there's 2 quick solutions when it comes to this first phase, trying to get some cardio in, right? We all know when the cycle just kind of starts, sometimes we feel a little creaky. Sometimes we feel a little crunchy. Sometimes we just need some lower to moderate intensity stuff. So that means that we're not going super hard, but we're just kind of like getting some movement in there. So always starting out with a warm up, like even if you're stretching, just looks like an interpretive dance, get into that. And then always cooling down is going to be helpful for any phase that you're in. But some desk exercises are going to be helpful. Chair exercises. There's plenty on YouTube. There's this free app that I talked about in episode 4 that we are not related to. However, I use it and it's great. And it's called Fit On. So there's plenty of options for, like, if you're like, I don't know what to do, there's some ideas there. And then whenever it comes to
phase 2.
So phase 2 in the in your cycle, that's when you're ovulating. So whenever that falls for you, if you get your bleed still and it's like a natural bleed, whenever you're ovulating around, it could be day 11, anywhere between day 11 and day 15 typically. So whenever you're ovulating, that's when it's great to really start to bring in some strength training, okay? Because your testosterone, which is that hormone in there that's like, go, 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 we got this. Let's go a little harder. Let's go a little deeper in the workout. Give me more. It's for your motivation. It's for your sex drive. It's for everything beyond that as well. So it's great. It needs problem solving. It needs to get into the little bit of heavier weights. So when it comes to weightlifting, I don't know if you weightlift or not, whether you have dumbbells, you use resistance bands, or it's calisthenics and you're using your body weight. This is the time to do the more weight bearing exercises, the stuff that you have to push away from the ground, you have to pull things to you, alternating the push and pull type exercises, whether it's a squat or a plank or push-ups, or it's like a reverse lunge. And if you don't know what these are, check out the Fit On app or Google it or YouTube it, so that you can find some things. Now, if you are in your third phase, this is a good time,
which is called power 2, right?
which is also your power phase. Yes. So this is right after ovulation ends, when your hormones start to dip again, but it's not the week before your cycle begins again. So it's before that happens. So it tends to be a few days, tends to be around day 16-ish to 19, and it depends on you and your specific cycle. But this is the time where you can get into you can go hard again, okay? So you could go hard in the first power phase, like maybe after those first couple days or first few days, and then you can go real hard with the high intensity where you about to lose your breath in this exercise, honey. You sweating bullets, okay? In this, so high intensity interval training is also good at this time, and this is what gets our bodies used to pushing oxygen, pushing the good nutrients where it needs to go, maximizing that circulation, everything cycling through your body where it needs to go, when it needs to go there, okay? And it also helps us keep our detox pathways open, which is super important. Why we sweat every day, even if it's in our fourth phase, which is the nurture phase, where we're not doing no sort of extraneous exercising. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. At most, we might go on a little hike, where we take our time. We might do some yoga, and I'm not talking about power yoga, where you're like, going from flow to flow, not listening to my body, but I'm just doing it. No, you're listening to your body. You're slowing down. You might, start to visualize how emotions like gratitude might feel in your body. You're slowing down your yoga flow if you love yoga. You're getting into those gentle stretches every day. Maybe some interpretive dance. Maybe you're just getting some hip rotations in, and just like naturally moving your body with that organic movement is what I call it. So this is the time where you really want to focus on your breathing. So every day we mentioned, breathing hard and sweating. Maybe get outside, get some grounding in, get into nature, and really just get some breath work in, where you're just deeply breathing, fully breathing in and out through the nose, using to maybe breathe out through the mouth. There's a great app for breath work that's also free, and it's called uh it's not outer space. It's outer it's outer I'm gonna look it up.
We're using her phone for the Instagram live, so
Yeah,
she can't look
so
it
I
up right
can't
now.
look it up on my phone, but it's not mothership, but it's like something ship, and I think it's outer ship, but I'm gonna put it in the comments, okay?
Yeah.
Don't worry
So
about it.
let's tie all of this information into today's topic. That was a review of I believe episode 4. And how do we make this work with our busy schedules? Well, you have to take small steps. You start out with small, manageable goals, right? Your first goal in anything that you want to make a habit should always be to not stop showing up. That's the first goal. How do I make it to at least 21 days? Of course, with you can sparse in um, the not working out every day, right? Not working out 7 days a week, but 21 days of showing up on the schedule that you make for yourself.
Hey, sweetie.
That's
Nom.
good, baby. Love you, love you. Um, and that's a great goal to start out with, is just keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. That's my only goal. I want to show up, and even if I'm not doing things with perfection, I keep showing up and learning from my mistakes anyway.
Or I'm bouncing.
Right? And then we want to talk about shifting the mindset, shifting from these things are happening to me, making it so that I can't do my fitness or take fitness more serious, and shifting to
How can I?
right outside of victimhood into curiosity. Right? Shifting to how can I make this work with my schedule? How can I make this work with my unique situation? How can I make this work? How will I make this work with my personality?
Can I give a quick little example, like what that might look like? So say you have a super early work day, like you have to get up at 6 and just start going for everybody in your household. Then maybe get up 30 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier than you normally do, and spend that time honoring yourself, checking in with yourself, get that movement in right there in 15 minutes. If you have nothing else, just get it in at the top of the day, because if you're like me, then it's hard to start to move and remember to move if out of the practice of moving later in the day, unless you have some sort of cue, whether it's a phone alarm that you set for yourself, or it's a and that's a phone alarm, or it's a calendar event that you put on for yourself. This is the time to pull out your calendar, look at your schedule, and see right now, when can you fit in a quick check-in with yourself. This might look like phone alarms, where maybe you set 3 phone alarms, one in the beginning of your day when you're starting, one in the middle of your day, and one near the end of your day, where you check in with yourself to see, hey, how am I feeling in my body? Did I move my body today? Did that happen? And if you have not moved your body, then start gifting yourself with that. And that could be the gentle stretches. That could be
Absolutely.
that.
With that, if you wake up and do the exact same thing, in a similar or the exact same way every morning, then even if you have a lot of people that are around you when you first wake up, they're going to get used to you waking up and doing 10 minutes of stretching and doing push-ups and doing some sort of movement for your body. They're going to also be in the habit of watching you do that, or being around you when you're doing that, because you're just getting up and you're going to go ahead and do that.
And one last thing to mention is, okay, how to navigate if you get interrupted. What to do when like you got up, you tried your plan, and then like 5 minutes in, the baby comes to you, and you gotta like pivot. You gotta change things up somehow. Either, I mean, and you might have some ideas about this too, but either you can try to coordinate it around nap time and quote unquote playtime, but you can also incorporate them in that workout. It's like, oh, you're here. Now you're my dumbbell. Okay. Now, if they're really small, or now, hey, let's do this together. High five. Come on, motivate me. We got this together. To where you're not giving up on yourself and you're staying consistent. Do you have any other like ideas that?
Well, yeah, it's called habit stacking. That's a good thing. So if you have a good habit of taking care of baby, every time baby makes a noise, completely fine. We take care of baby when baby makes a noise, as you can see. And the way that we can stack habits is by incorporating holding the baby with doing different workouts that are feasible, like squatting, things like that, with baby in hand. Lunges, taking long walks, things like that. Long meaning about, at least 10 to 15 minutes, not long meaning 4 hours of walking. But
Curls and
stretching in the shower is amazing, right? Especially if you have, a tub or a shower space that, you can point the water away. You don't have to necessarily get all of your hair wet or your whole body wet every single time. Doing some gentle stretches in the shower is a great warm up, and also just a great thing to do. Stretching you can do before, during, and after fitness. Um, Working out when you're brushing your teeth, or doing tasks that you're not necessarily bound to certain physical hindrances to a fitness routine. So like doing lunges while you're brushing your teeth. It's called habit stacking, right? You already have a habit, and you're going to stack another habit that makes sense into it. I talk about the same thing in regard to meditation to my meditation clients, about meditating when you're washing dishes, meditating when instead of spending the time watching your favorite show, turning off the TV, and spending time meditating in the spot where you would be watching TV.
If you're gardening,
meditating when you're gardening, or
tune into your breath and start to like focus on your alignment, and maybe you can, when you're lifting that bag of soil, use that proper form.
Yep. And put it back down and lift it again. Put it back down and lift it again, and there you go. 10 minutes.
When you're moving it from place to place, it can be functional too.
Absolutely. So there's that, and then there's family involvement, making quality time around, yoga, stretching, or fitness routines where the whole family can participate. Mom, baby, dad, cousin, whoever, right? Sister, brother, can all participate in physically moving our bodies as quality time, and look forward to it. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, we're going to do some sort of quality time, some sort of family workout, some sort of whatever. And it's only 10 to 15 minutes, right? And we're breathing hard and we're sweating.
And put on some good music, especially if you love music.
Absolutely. So setting realistic goals, creating a schedule for yourself, and utilizing technology like the apps that were mentioned are great ways to stay consistent and to meet your first goal, which is showing up nonstop, not stopping the showing up part, right? We're not going to show up and expect perfection every time. We're not going to show up and expect to increase the weight exponentially over a certain short amount of time necessarily. We're not going to show up and expect that there will be absolutely no interruptions ever. But we're going to show up and we're going to do the thing, and then tomorrow or the next appropriate time, we're going to show up again. We're not going to stop showing up. And that's our first goal. That realistic goals, creating a schedule for showing up, and then utilizing the technology, the apps and the ideas and the Google and the YouTube and all of these things that we have at our disposal to make it happen. And within that, syncing it with the cycle. Right, ladies, power phase 1, HIIT workouts, ovulation, strength training. Power phase 2, HIIT workouts, and during nurture, taking walks and hiking and things like that.
And check in with your Thrive Zone for everything. Just because it says HIIT workout doesn't mean that you're gonna be like a cliche HIIT workout every time. What is in your Thrive Zone? So what would you love to do? What would be fun for you? What do you need to focus on in terms of like what areas of your body need some attention and some love? And then also, what exactly what are you feeling ready and right for? What syncs up with what your body needs as far as your hormones? So when we're considering that, the HIIT workout may not always look like a YouTube cliche class. It could look like, hey, for 30 seconds, I'm gonna have like a little dance party real quick. And then for 60 seconds, we'll say for 60 seconds, we're gonna just dance real hard, nonstop to this music, as big, as good, as juicy as whatever as we need to. And then for 90 seconds, we just like step it out, slow it down, and just get like a water break or something and
Yeah.
alternate that way.
And rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
So this
It could
is
look like whatever.
This is how we make it work. That's all the time that we have for today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. Take the notes that you need. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you comment. Make sure that you hit that like. Make sure that you follow. Hit the notifications so that you know when we're going live next time.
And put in the comments your favorite tip that you gained from today, or any questions that you might have, so that we can cover it on the next podcast, or we can answer it right there in the comments.
And let the algorithm know that you like the content, that you think other people would like the content, and that you want to know when we go live. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace, loves.